I heard my boyfriend's voice through the door. She's going to propose tonight, he said, laughing. Watch how I tell her no and make her cry. I froze in the hallway, 2 coffees going cold in my hands, the little velvet box pressing against my ribs through my coat. My heart didn't just break, it stopped. For years I'd loved Adrian, and his voice was sliding under the door, like it was nothing, telling someone exactly how he planned to humiliate me in front of every person new. The ring was in my pocket. I'd picked it up that morning. I opened the door like I'd heard nothing at all. Adrian was on the couch, phone to his ear, laughing. Yeah, I'll call you later, Cole, he said, hanging up fast. Hey, you're home early. Yeah, I managed. Traffic was light. He smiled at me, completely relaxed, completely sure of himself, with no idea that the floor had just dropped out from under my entire life. That night I couldn't eat, couldn't sleep. His words kept looping in my head. Watch how I tell her no and make her cry. I was supposed to propose on Sunday at his parents' house. Dinner, family, candles, the perfect moment. Now I could barely look at him without feeling sick. Adrian kept asking what was wrong, touching my hand, saying I looked pale. I wanted to scream. I wanted to ask him why. Why? Waste 4 years just to destroy me of everyone he loved, but I stayed, I smiled. I lied, and I pretended everything was fine. I sat on the edge of the bed, staring at the ring box on my nightstand. 8 months of saving, 3 months of planning. His mother had hugged me when I asked for her blessing. Welcome to the family, sweetheart, she'd whispered. I wanted to laugh and cry at the same time. Sunday came faster than I wanted. I didn't feel anything anymore. No anger, no fear, just a heavy, empty calm. Adrian talked the whole drive to his parents' house, a co-worker's drama, a new show he liked, a podcast he'd saved for me. His voice sounded normal. Too normal. Every word cut a little deeper. How could he sound so happy when he knew exactly what he planned to do? I gripped the steering wheel until my knuckles turned white. Part of me wanted to turn the car around. Another part of me needed to see it through just to prove I wasn't crazy. When we pulled into the Bennett's driveway, he reached for my hand. You've seemed off all weekend, he said softly. Everything okay? I forced a smile. Just tired. Dinner smelled incredible. His mom had made roast chicken, my favorite. I pushed the food around my plate, pretending to eat so no one would notice. Mr. Bennett talked about a fishing trip he was planning. Adrian's little brother, Caleb, showed everyone pictures of his new dog. Adrian laughed at something Caleb said, and for 1 second, he looked like the man I'd fallen for. Then he turned to me. Right, Nora? I hadn't even heard the question. I just nodded. See, Mom? Adrian said, grinning. Told you she'd agree. His mom laughed. His dad gave me that warm, proud look, like he already saw me as part of the family. The ring in my pocket felt like a brick. Nora, more potatoes? Mrs. Bennett asked kindly. No, thank you. It's perfect. I'm just full. Lie. I hadn't eaten half my plate. Under the table, Adrian squeezed my hand 3 times. Our little code. It meant I love you. We'd made it up in our 2nd month of dating. I pulled my hand away and reached for my water instead. His smile flickered for half a second. Mr. Bennett wiped his mouth with his napkin. So, Nora, how's that big account at work? Going well. We closed it Friday. The client was thrilled. Good to hear. You've always struck me as the hardworking type. That stung more than I expected. This man had called me family. He trusted me. Mrs. Bennett leaned in. You know, we were Just talking about taking a trip for our anniversary, she said. 40 years. We're thinking Italy. Maybe you two could come along. Wouldn't that be romantic? Adrian let out a nervous laugh. Mom, don't start. She waved it off. I'm just saying, two couples in Italy. The room went quiet. Everyone was waiting for something. Everyone except Adrian. They all thought I was going to propose. That night, Caleb broke the tension. I think Nora and Adrian will figure things out in their own time. No rush. He was only 23, but somehow sharper than the rest of us. Mr. Bennett chuckled. Of course. Nora knows what she's doing. Adrian glanced at me, his expression unreadable, nervous, guilty, expectant. I'm going to use the bathroom, I said, standing up, second door on the left. Mrs. Bennett reminded me the hallway felt smaller than usual, lined with family photos. Adrian as a kid, his graduation, and one of us at the beach. Last summer, his arm around me, both of us laughing. Caleb had taken that one. We'd looked happy. Had any of it been real? I gripped the sink and stared at myself in the mirror. Dark circles. Exhausted. I pulled out my phone. The recording was still there. The one-eyed, hit by instinct in the hallway when I heard his voice through the door. I pressed play. Adrian's voice came through clear. She's going to propose tonight. Watch how I tell her no and make her cry. Cole laughed. You're evil. She's just been too much lately, Adrian said. She needs to understand who's actually in control. I stopped it. I'd already listened too many times. A knock at the door. Nora, are you okay? It was him. I shoved the phone into my pocket. Yeah. 1 second. You've been quiet all weekend, he said through the door. I opened it. He stood there in the watch. I'd bought him for his birthday, looking concerned, looking perfect. That made it worse. I'm fine. Just tired from work. You sure? If something's wrong, you can tell me. His eyes searched mine, looking for a sign, a clue, something. Was he checking if I knew? There's nothing, I said flatly. Let's go back. Dessert was apple pie, my favorite. We ate mostly in silence. Adrian tried to start conversations, and no one bit. Everyone could feel that something was off. When we finished, Mrs. Bennett stood. Nora, help me carry the recycling out. That should have been a small thing. Instead, I followed her into the cool night air, feeling like I was walking into a storm. I can tell when something's wrong, she said gently, setting the bin down. Talk to me. My chest tightened. This woman didn't deserve to be dragged into this, but she already was. Mrs. Bennett, I need to talk to you about something. Just not tonight. Is it about Adrian? Yes. Are you two having problems? You could say that. She frowned. She's my son, but you're like a daughter to me. If something's wrong, I want to help. You'll know everything soon, I said. I just need a little time. She nodded, worry in her eyes, and patted my arm. Whatever it is, I know you'll handle it. Right. We drove home in silence for the first 10 minutes. Adrian stared out the window, scrolling, then finally, what? Was that tonight? What was what? Your mood. You barely spoke. You were cold. And what did you say to my mom outside? Work stuff. He laughed shortly. You expect me to believe that? I don't care what you believe. His voice sharpened. What is your problem lately? I gripped the wheel tighter. Words burned on my tongue. I wanted to tell him I knew that I'd heard all of it, that I'd listened to him plan to break me in front of everyone, but not yet. The light ahead turned red. I stopped and looked straight at him. Do you love me? He blinked. What? Of course I do. Why would you even ask that? I just needed to hear it. The light turned green. I drove on out of the corner of my eye. I watched him unlock his phone and start typing, probably to Cole, probably saying something went wrong, that I hadn't proposed. Good. When we got home, Adrian went straight to bed. I stayed up, opened my laptop, and logged into our joint account, the one we'd opened. For rent and bills, 3 cash. Withdrawals jumped out. 500, 300, 700. All in the last few weeks. All his. I opened a spreadsheet and started documenting everything. Dates, amounts, locations. Then I pulled up his friend, Cole's profile, public, a photo from 2 weeks ago at an expensive restaurant I'd never heard about. The same night, Adrian told me he'd stayed in. I switched to Instagram, accounts I didn't know he had. One photo of us at dinner, captioned, "She treats me right, except I paid for that entire meal." Another, "Living the life I deserve." I took screenshots of everything. Then I texted my friend Dana's cousin Priya, a software engineer who owed me a favor. "Can you recover deleted messages from a phone if I have physical access?" She replied in minutes. "Depends on the phone." Why? "It's my boyfriend's. We share bills. The lease is under my name. Gray area, but it matters. Bring it tomorrow. I can do it." From the bedroom, Adrian's breathing was slow and peaceful. Unaware, I made coffee at midnight and searched online. Signs of emotional manipulation in relationships. One article listed 20. Adrian checked at least half. Gaslighting, guilt tripping, financial control. How had I missed it? Because I'd loved him. Because I'd believed we were a team. I put the ring back in my desk drawer, not to return it. Not yet. If I'd learned one thing that night, it was that timing was everything, and mine was coming. Next morning, I left before he woke. I scribbled a note and stuck it to the coffee maker. Early meeting. See you tonight. At work, my best friend Dana set a coffee on my desk. Okay, spill it. Why didn't you propose? I forced a shrug. Changed my mind. You've been planning that for months. Things change. She studied me. Nora, what happened? Just need to figure some stuff out first. Dana leaned back. That sounds bad. Maybe it is. She nodded slowly. All right, I'll back off. But if you need me, you know where I am. That afternoon, I sat in the office of Diane Reyes, a family lawyer. Dana had recommended. Calm, sharp, the kind of person who didn't waste words. Tell me what's going on, she said. I told her everything. For years shared. Apartment lease under my name, joint account. The conversation I'd overheard. Married? No. Kids? No. She nodded. That simplifies things. Legally, you can end it whenever you want. The joint account is the tricky part. He has equal claim to whatever's in there unless you can prove the money came from you. I have pay stubs and deposit records. That helps. Open a new account in your name. Only move your funds gradually, not all at once. He'll notice if you drain it overnight. And the apartment leases under your name, correct? Then he's an informal tenant. You can serve him a 30-day notice to vacate. Cleanest option. And it keeps you protected. I took notes. The whole time, the consultation cost me $200 and was worth every cent. That night, Adrian came home late. How was your day? Fine. He sat beside me. Nora, we need to talk. You've been distant. Cold. Is it work? Work's fine. Then, what? I looked at him, really looked. He was still handsome, but I couldn't unhear his laugh on that recording. Are You happy? His eyebrows pulled together. What kind of question is that? Just answer it. Of course I'm happy. Why? Wouldn't I be? I don't know. You tell me. You're being weird. Where is this coming from? I stood. Forget it. He sighed and went to bed. 5 minutes later, my phone buzzed. Unknown number. Nora, it's Caleb. Can we talk? Adrian's little brother. I stepped onto the balcony and called him. I hope it's okay that I'm calling, he said quietly. I just need to ask, what happened Sunday? What do you mean? Adrian came home upset, said you ruined dinner. I didn't ruin anything. I believe you. That's why I'm calling. Something feels off. He's been weird lately, going out more, spending money he doesn't have. My chest tightened. What kind of weird? He was nervous before dinner, like he was waiting for something. And after you left, he got angry, called someone, and whispered for a long time. I couldn't hear much, but he said your name a few times. It wasn't anyone from the family. I exhaled slowly. Thank you for telling me, Caleb. Is everything okay? Not really, but it will be. You're not going to tell me what's going on, are you? Not yet, but soon. Just be careful, okay? Always. The next morning, I brought Adrian's phone to Priya, the one he'd left charging while he showered. She lived downtown in an apartment buried under monitors and energy drink cans. You look like you haven't slept in a week, she said. I haven't. By 10, she called me back in. I pulled the deleted messages, took all night. You're going to want to sit down. She opened a conversation between Adrian and Cole. The timestamps went back months. My stomach dropped as I read. Adrian, Sloan asked me to dinner again. Not sure I should go. Cole, why not? Nora doesn't have to know. Adrian, you're right. It's just networking. A week later, Adrian, she offered me a job. Triple what I make now. Cole, are you taking it? Adrian, maybe. It's in San Francisco, though. Cole and Nora? Adrian, she doesn't fit in that world. Sloane's different, successful, powerful. Priya glanced at me. You. Okay, keep going. Adrian, Nora's been talking to her friend about a ring. Cole, she's going to propose. Adrian, yeah, I'm not saying yes. Cole, what? Why? Adrian, she needs to learn she doesn't control everything. Cole, that's cruel. Adrian, it's necessary. If I say yes now, I'll never get out clean. My nails dug into my palms. Then the newest messages, just days old. Adrian, she didn't propose. Something went wrong. Cole, do you think she suspects? Adrian, maybe she was weird all night. Even my mom asked if we were okay. Cole, what did you tell her? Adrian, that Nora's stressed from work, but something's off. I need to find out what she knows. Priya exhaled. There's more messages with Sloan. Sloan, lunch this week? Somewhere private, like last time. Adrian, you're terrible. Sloan, you love it. I stopped reading. That's enough. Priya printed everything and slid a thick envelope across the desk. Timestamps, screenshots, backups. It's all in there. What do I owe you? Nothing. Just take care of yourself. In my car, I read it all again, one message at a time. It wasn't just betrayal, it was strategy. He'd been lining up his exit for months with a replacement already in place, planning to humiliate me on the way out. My phone buzzed. Adrian, where are you? You said we'd have lunch. I typed back, got caught up tomorrow. You promised. No. Sorry. I drove to the bank, opened a new account in my name only, and moved half the joint balance, $20,000. Then I toured an apartment 15 minutes from work, 2 bedrooms, quiet, available in 2 weeks. I'll take it. I told the agent, you don't want to. Think about it. No need. I signed the lease and left with new keys in my hand. That week, my company brought in a consultant to review our internal processes. Our manager, Renee, introduced him in the Monday meeting. This is Lucas Ruiz. He'll be with us for 6 weeks. He stepped in, early 30s, calm, a plain gray suit, confident. Without trying, I'll be doing individual interviews this week. Don't panic. It's just to understand. Workload. After the meeting, he found me. Nora, you're first on my list. At 1:30, he came to my office. He already knew my numbers, the account I'd closed, the growth I'd driven. Impressive, he said. You must love what you do. I just try to stay consistent. Consistency is rare. Most people get bored before they get better. He smiled. Slightly. So, where do you see yourself? In 5 years. I laughed quietly. A week ago, I had an answer for that. Now I don't. He looked up. Rough week. You could say that. He didn't push. Sometimes life forces you to rewrite your plan. I hesitated, then said it. My boyfriend, ex maybe, he's been lying to me. I overheard something I wasn't supposed to. Lucas didn't flinch. I'm sorry. He planned to reject me in front of his whole family. He was seeing someone else the entire time. It was calculated, like I was just an option until something better came along. And what are you going to do about it? End it, I said cleanly. No. Drama, no yelling, just done. He nodded. Slowly. That's harder than it sounds. I know. Most people would want revenge. Revenges doesn't fix anything. It just keeps you in the same place. A faint smile crossed his face. You're not like most people. Before he left, he handed me his card. If you ever want to talk off the record, call me. Sometimes a stranger listens better than a friend. And Nora, whoever did that to you doesn't deserve another second of your time. Over the next few days, he stopped by a few times for follow-ups. Each one felt less like work and more like talking to someone who actually saw me. He didn't pity me. He just understood. Over coffee on Wednesday, he told me he'd moved here 6 months ago after a divorce. She was controlling, manipulative. The last 2 years were a kind of slow erasing. He stirred his cup when the silence felt better than her company. I knew it was time. I knew exactly what he meant. You'll be fine, he said. It hurts now, but it's clarity, and clarity is power. Thursday, Adrian showed up at my office unannounced. Surprise, I missed you. Thought we could grab lunch. I have a meeting in 10 minutes. He frowned. You've been avoiding me all week. What's going on? Nothing. Don't lie to me. He stepped closer, lowering his voice. Do you still love me? A week ago, I'd have said yes. Without thinking. Now, the word wouldn't. Come. I have to go, I said, walking past him. Nora, please. I didn't turn back. That weekend, I told him I had a work trip. I went to Dana's instead, and we planned every step, every possible reaction. By Sunday night, everything was in place. Saturday morning, I woke. Before the sun, the envelope of evidence sat on the table, thick and heavy. Messages, photos, withdrawals, the eviction notice, everything I needed. At 8 o'clock, I called Mrs. Bennett. I need to talk to you today, if possible. Somewhere neutral. The cafe on Main. She paused. Of course, 10 o'clock. I left Adrian. A note. Went for a run back later. Mrs. Bennett arrived exactly on time. Composed as always. You look tired. Sweetheart, what's going on? I placed the envelope on the table. I need you to see this. She opened it. First, confusion, then disbelief, then heartbreak. Her hands trembled when she reached the messages with Sloane's name. He was seeing this woman for months. She offered him a job in San Francisco. He planned to reject me publicly first to teach me a lesson, his words. She sat back, looking older than I'd ever seen her. I don't even know what to say. I didn't want to believe it either. What are you going to do? I already have new account, new apartment, and I'm serving him notice today. The lease is under my name. He has 30 days. She rubbed her forehead. That's fair, painful, but fair. She folded the papers carefully. Can I keep a copy? His father needs to know the truth. Of course. She stood, placed a hand on my shoulder. Nora, you're a good person. What my son did is unforgivable. You deserve better. In the parking lot, she pulled me into a brief hug. You'll find someone who treats you right. I know it. When I got home, Adrian was at the kitchen table with his coffee. Thought you went running. I did. Then I had a meeting on a Saturday. With who? Your mom. He froze cup halfway to his lips. My mom, why? I set the envelope on the table because I needed to show her something. His eyes flicked to it. What's that? The truth. He reached for it. I opened it first and spread the pages across the table. Messages, photos, bank records. His face drained of color. Did you go through my phone? I did. That's a violation of privacy, he snapped. This is a collection of lies, I said calmly. Yours. He stood, hands shaking. You don't understand. Cole and I were joking. Joking about humiliating me, about a woman offering you a job, about using me until something better came along. It's not what it looks like. Then, explain it. He sat back down, breathing uneven. I was confused. I didn't know what I wanted. You knew exactly what you wanted. Control. Tears welled up in his eyes. Nora, please. I love you. I made a mistake. No, I said quietly. A mistake is forgetting an anniversary. This was a plan. He reached for my arm. I stepped back. Don't touch me. Please. We can fix this. There's nothing to fix. His voice broke. I love you. I swear I do. You don't even know what that means. You don't love, you manipulate. His knees buckled and he dropped into the chair, sobbing. You told my mom she deserved to know what kind of person her son really is. Please don't ruin me like this. I didn't ruin you. You did that yourself. I pulled the last paper from the envelope, the eviction notice, and slid it across the table. 30 days. He stared at it, lips trembling, his tears smudging the ink. You can't be serious. The lease is in my name. I am. Where am I supposed to go? That's not my problem. He grabbed at one last thing, the only card he had left. Sloane will take me. I don't need you. I have somewhere to be. I almost smiled. Sloane pulled the offer. Thursday, your mom called her company about a reference and Sloane found out you are still living with the woman you were about to humiliate. Turns out, powerful people don't like loose ends. I watched it land. She blocked you. Yesterday, check your phone. He fumbled for it, scrolling, his hands shaking. Harder now. Whatever he saw, his face said everything. You wanted to watch me cry, I said, picking up my keys. Funny how that turned out. I walked to the Door, grab my jacket. Start packing. Nora, please don't leave. That's it. I'm done. I closed the door behind me. My hands are shaking, not from fear, but from relief. For the first time in months, I could breathe. When I pulled up at Dana's, she opened the door before I even knocked. Well, it's done, I said. He cried. He begged. He had nothing left. Did you feel bad? No, I said. Quietly, I felt relieved.